Hello everyone. I would like to welcome you all for the new subject Digital Business Strategy in CA Business Level 2. So today we are going to discuss the very first lesson there, Business Management Process and Technology. So here we are going to see how we can embed technologies into business management processes in order to achieve organizations' goals and objectives. Right? So I'm Anuttara Senanayaka. I'm a lecturer in IT and business. My key lecturing areas like lot of IT subjects, right? Almost all the IT subjects are included to my portfolio. And apart from the IT subjects, I am teaching marketing management, business intelligence, and digital strategy. Right? So let's start with the very first lesson. Right? So under the first lesson, there's a first subtopic, that is Introduction to Business Strategy and Technology. Right? So here we are going to see what is a strategy and how technology can help strategies to achieve organizations' goals and objectives. Right? So let's start with a definition. Right? So what is a strategy? What is this strategy? Right? So let's see. This is the definition for the strategy. Right? It says like strategy is the direction and scope of an organization over the long term which achieves advantage in a changing environment through its configuration of resources and competencies with the aim of fulfilling stakeholder expectations. Right? So let's see one by one. Right? It says like, if we take a strategy, right, if we are going to implement a strategy, that strategy should direct and it should define the scope of the organization. Right? We know each and every organization, they have their own goals and objectives. Right? So this particular strategy should direct the organization towards its goals and objectives. Right? And the strategy should provide the scope of the organization. Right? And here when we are going to implement strategies not for a short term period. Right? It should be for a long term period. Right? So in business terms we have two times. Right? One is the short term and the other one is the long term. Right? So when we are talking about the short term, it should be like year or less than 1 year. Right? Okay. Long term is like 5 years or 10 years. Right? Okay. So here we must understand strategy should apply in long term way. Right? So strategy should direct the organization and should give the scope of the organization for long term, not just for the short term. Right? And here it says like it should achieve, right, the advantages in changing environment. We know all the organizations are operating, right, in middle of the business environment. Right? So for the business environment, a lot of factors are involving. Right? Okay. So all this environment, the business environment is not a static one. Right? Okay. That means not a still thing. Right? Business environment is dynamic, that is, it is always changing. Right? Because of the factors available on the business environment, the environment surrounding, right, the organization, it's always changing. Right? So as a good organization, as a successful organizations, they have to adapt for these environmental changes. Right? Or else they have to react, they have to change their policies according to the environmental changes. If they are not going to change, right, according to these environmental changes, the organization sustainability cannot be guaranteed. Right? Why? Because if they are not going to answer or react for the environmental changes, they cannot survive in the market. Right? So because of that, strategy should helps to achieve advantages in this changing environment. Right? How? Right? By configuring or by utilizing, by using, right, of resources and competencies of the organization. right? Okay, strategy should use whatever the resources available in the organization, whatever the competencies that they have in the organization, right? Okay, and also meanwhile they have to fulfill the stakeholders expectations as well, right? So who are the stakeholders for an organization? The people who interested on the business are known as stakeholders, right? As an example, investors, right, is a one set of stakeholders, right? Investors, right? Customers, employees, board of directors, suppliers, right? Distributors, right? Union groups, right? Pressure groups, those are what? Stakeholders, right, of a business, right? So here, meanwhile, right, okay, meanwhile they have to make sure, right, they have to ensure to fulfill the stakeholders expectations as well, right? So this thing, right, okay, we can say it's a strategy, right? See here, strategy is the direction and scope of an organization over the long term, okay, which achieves advantage in a changing environment through its configuration of resources and competencies with the aim of fulfilling stakeholders expectations. Okay, right. So let's say, right here, uh, the organizations, they are making strategic decisions, right? Organizations, they are making strategic decisions. So the strategic decisions, right? So strategic decisions are made under the condition of complexity and the uncertainty, right? So actually when the organizations are going to make strategic decisions, right, those strategic decisions may be very complex, right? And they are making these strategic decisions under very uncertainty environment, right? So we are going to discuss with an example as well, so let's see later, right? And here, involve reacting to changes in the environment and markets. I told you, right, why we need strategic decisions, because we want to address the environmental changes, right? Okay, so here, whatever the output from the from a strategic decision may be a reaction for an environmental change, okay, right? So and here, the whatever the strategic decisions, right, that the organization is going to make, right, will have a big impact on the organization, right? Okay, it is not just small thing, it will affect to the organization in a large scale, right? Okay, right. uh, so let's see, right, and here, we are going to discuss what are the areas, right, of strategic decision making, right? The first one is long term direction. As I told you, right, long term means 5 to 10 years, right? Okay, so when the organization is going to make the strategic decision, it should address the next 5 years or next 10 years, okay, right? So here the next one is what? Scope of activities, right? Okay, here actually strategic decisions are made by the board of directors, right, at the corporate level. We are going to discuss it later, right? What are the levels of strategic decisions, right? Okay, so it is going to talk about the entire organization as a one part, right, not just the divisions, right? It is going to it is going to apply for the entire organization as a one unit, right? And strategic decisions may create competitive advantages, right? So competitive advantage means what? Whatever an advantage that the organization has apart from its competitors, right? Okay, that is known as what? Competitive advantage, right? Okay, as an example, if we take the Mercedes-Benz company, and let's take the Toyota company, right? Okay, we know Mercedes-Benz company, they have long history than the Toyota company, so their history is one competitive advantage for them, right? See, okay, whatever an advantage that they have apart from their competitors, right? Okay, and the technology the Benz company is using not available in the Toyota, right? So again, another what competitive advantage, right? So here, but the strategic decisions, right, they may involve with these competitive advantages, right? Sometimes strategy, by having a good strategy, a new competitive advantage will be introduced to the organization, right? Okay, and it will help to compete with the competitors available in the industry, right? Okay, and here another area is what, it's adapting to changes in the business environment. I told you why we need strategy. We want to address the changes in the business environment, right? So here the strategy helps to adapt for the changes in the business environment, right? And here it says the another thing, exploiting unique resources and core competencies, right? So by having a proper strategy, by having a good strategy, we can utilize, right, we can take the maximum use of the resources available in the organization, and also we can take the maximum usage of the core competencies of the company, right? And here, recognizing the values and expectation of major stakeholders, right? So by having this strategy, right, we can recognize what the stakeholders need, right, and how we can add values for the values for the stakeholders, right? So here we can find, okay, these are the areas of strategic decision making, okay, right? By considering these things, we are making our strategic decisions, right? Okay, right. So now the example, right? So I'm going to take an example, right? So we know burgers, no? Right? Okay, in the world, we have two main competitors, right? Two main organizations. One is the McDonald's and the other one is the Burger King. Right, okay, those are the very famous two organizations who produce burgers, no? McDonald's and the Burger King, right? Okay, if we take the McDonald's, right, if we take the McDonald's, that's the one of the largest fast food chain in the world, right? Even Sri Lanka we have McDonald's, and also we have the Burger Kings as well, right? So when the Burger King came to the industry, uh, McDonald's got a very large competition, right? Because same like I mean McDonald's, they are doing very wonderful burgers, right? And they also have a large customer base up to now, right? Because of different strategies that they have used, they managed to acquire some customers from the McDonald's as well, right? Okay, so here these two are the competitors, right? The very large competitors in the fast food industry, right? So here now, when we are talking about the McDonald's, right? Okay, let's see how they have used strategies, right, in order to address for uh, changing environmental factors, right? Okay, we know in recently, right, there are a lot of changes that we can identify in the marketing environment or the business environment, right? Okay, so the first one is the competition, right? As I told you, new rivals came, that means the Burger King came into the scenario, right? And they did massive marketing campaigns, and they did massive promotions, right? Okay, and they gave high competition to the McDonald's, right? So now a new competitor came, right? The business environment has changed now, right? So according to that, McDonald's need to change their pattern, their strategy, right? Otherwise they cannot compete with the available competition, right? So what they did was, they open up a lot of branches around the world, right? And try to appear everywhere in the world map, right? To do the to compete with the Burger King. And also they are also doing a lot of promotions, right? They are doing a lot of advertisements and all, right? To compete with the Burger King as well, right? And here the within the environment, right, within the business environment, people, they have changed their lifestyle now, right? They are into, I mean, we are getting a new trend now, no? Right? People are seeking to have healthy living now, no? right? Not like early days, right? People are into more healthy living things, right? They are doing exercises and they are concerning about their food, no, right? See, slow food, right? They are concerning about the food. They are, I mean, they are going to, they are considering about the mental health. They are considering about the physical health, right? And they are considering about the calories and all, right? Okay, so the environment is changing now, right? So if the McDonald's is not going to think about this, right, they cannot survive in the market because they will lose the business, because people now love to have what less calorie food, right? And they are thinking about their health as well, right? So what they have done is they have introduced salads, no? Right, salads to their menu, right? So they now, I mean, at a premium price actually, right? If we can, I mean, at home we can make a very a small salad by spending just 100 rupees, but at McDonald's we must pay 500 rupees and take the salad. That is okay, right? Somehow, right, they have introduced salads for the people who are seeking for healthy food and people who are seeking for the slow food concept, right? Okay, so here that's how they have managed to address those environmental changes, right? Okay, and the another one is ethnic food. We know, right, when the McDonald's is going to establish their stalls in worldwidely, right, we have different cultures, no? Right, China, it's a different culture. Europe, it's another different culture. America, it's another different culture. If we take India, it's another separate different culture. In Sri Lanka, we have a totally different culture, right? So when they open up new stores, right, in a new different culture, right, they have to adapt, right, for that particular culture, otherwise they cannot survive within that market. Okay, as an example, when McDonald's moved to India, right, so McDonald's cannot sell beef burgers there. Why? The Indians are not eat what, they are not eating beef, okay, because the cow is their sacred animal, right? So they cannot sell beef burgers in India. So how they uh, address that environmental change is they introduce ethnic food, right? They customize their burgers, right? They put tandoori chicken burger, right? They introduce like tandoori chicken burger, masala chicken burger, those things. They customize their burger into the what, into their own culturic way, right? Okay, that's how they have addressed this ethnic food issue as well, right? And another change that they have noticed, right, fast food from supermarkets, right? A lot of supermarkets, right, they open up fast food stalls, no? Even Sri Lanka, we can see Keels, within Keels supermarkets they have their own bread shop as well, right? So there people can buy pastries and all, right? And even Apico, if we take Apico people, they have their own bread shop, right? And even the Love supermarkets, within the Love supermarket itself, they have their own bread shop, no? So people can buy burgers and pastries from there, right? So here this is another what threat for McDonald's, because why people, I mean, while they are doing shopping for the groceries, right, within the supermarkets, they take burgers from their own fast food outlets, so they don't come for the McDonald's now, right? So what they have done is they sign a agreement in between the supermarket, right, and they open up a small store within a supermarket, right? Now what they have done, okay, supermarket there, right, okay, within that a small McDonald's stall is there, right? So here that's how they achieved, right, they overcame from the environmental changes, right, which has happened very recently, right? So in future also they have to have different strategies in order to face for the environmental changes, because the market environment or the business environment is dynamic. It is not the environment that we have today on tomorrow. No, it's different. It will be a different thing, right? So I hope you can understand the example, right? So they have very, I mean, they have used different strategies to address these changes. See, competition, slow food, healthy living, ethnic food, fast food from supermarkets, right? So that's why McDonald's will, would be able to, right, okay, maintain the status in the fast food industry, right, okay, by using these strategies, right, okay. And here, uh, when we are taking a strategic decision, right, there are four main characteristics of a strategic decision, right? As I explained earlier, right, it is very complex, it is uncertain, right, and it is going to affect on the business operation, it is going to change the business operations actually, right, and they affect the entire organization or business. It is not going to affect on just a part of the organization, no, it is going to affect to the entire organization, right, or the business, right. So these four are the characteristics of a strategic decision, right. It is complex, it is uncertain, and it is going to affect on the business operations, and also it is going to affect to the entire organization, right. Okay, right. And here, when we are talking about the strategy, right, okay, there are three levels of strategies, right, okay. If when you are talking about the talking about a business, right, okay, within a business or the organization, at three levels we can find different strategies, right, okay. See, these are the three levels, right. We have the corporate strategy, we have the business level strategy, and we have the operational strategy, right. See, three levels: corporate strategy, business level strategy, and operational strategies, right, okay. And when we are talking about the corporate level, right, okay, here it deals with the overall purpose and scope of the organization, right. Corporate strategy always deals with the overall, right, the entire organization scope and the purpose, right, and here, and how to add value to the different parts, business units of an organization, right. For example, the decisions to expand into new geographical location or a market, right, okay. So here, a corporate strategy, the nature of a corporate strategy is what it covers the entire organization, not just one part of the organization. It's about the entire organization, right. As an example, it says like, okay, let's say we have some kind of an organization in Sri Lanka, it operates only in Sri Lanka, right. So as a corporate strategy, the management decides to go into a new market, right, maybe to Bangladesh, right. So it's a now expand into a new geographical area, right, and that particular decision is going to affect to the entire organization, clear, right. And here the second one is business level strategy, right. So this is about how to compete successfully in a particular market. Continuing with the expansion analogy, the head of business unit must decide where to base, what products to sell, and the markets or to target, right. So here, when it comes to the business level strategy, right, it is about the division, right, okay. And each division has its own product range and its own markets, right, okay. It's about divisional wise but strategy, right. It is not just the entire organization, it's division wise strategy, right, okay. And here the last one is what? Operational strategy, right. Here operational strategy is what? About how parts of an organization such as marketing, finance, or IT supports the overall strategy. How other parts are going to support for the overall strategy is known as what? Operational strategies, right, clear. So here these are the three levels of strategies: corporate strategy, business level strategy, and the operational strategies, right, clear, right. So we have three levels. Remember, corporate strategy, it's all about the entire organization. Business level strategy, it's about a division, one division. Operational level strategies are what? How the organization, how about what parts of the organization such as marketing, finance, IT supports for the overall strategy, right, and they are providing the supporting services, right. And yeah, so here Under the subtopic 1, we discuss about what is a strategy, and then strategic decisions, right? And areas that the strategic decisions are making, right? And we took an example from McDonald's, right? And we discuss about the characteristics of a strategic decision, and we spoke about the levels of strategies as well, right? So as the second topic, we are going to discuss role of technology in formulating and implementation of strategies, right? So here we are going to see how technology can help, right? How technology can help to implement the strategies within an organization, right? So let's discuss on that, right? And here technology, actually organizations, they are always trying to create value for the customers or for the stakeholders, right? They always want to create value, right? Nowadays we are talking about not just customers, but one time sales, no, right? We are going, we as an organization, we want to talk about the entire customer's lifetime value, right? Nowadays organizations are not into just sell one item and then forget about that particular customer, no, right? They are going to acquire the entire customer lifetime value, right? So because of that, to attract customers like that, right? So I actually, to have the customer lifetime value, they want to have loyal customers, no, right? So in that case, to make the customers as loyal customers, they want to create value, right? Okay, they want to, the organization should create value for the customers, right? So by using technology, actually, with the strategies, right? Okay, they can create values for the customers, right? Actually technology, it's about value creation, right? Okay, so here within an organization there are three places that they can create value by using technology, right? The first one is operations, right? And the second one is new product and services, and the third one is what? Information, right? Okay, operations, right? Actually technology has changed business operations and practices, no? Right? It has changed, right? Business processes and practices. Many operations that used to be done manually are now automated, right? Early days, within a manufacturing plant, we could see a lot of people there, right? All the processes were conducted manually, but now thanks for the technology, right, all the processes, most of the processes are automated, right? Now very quickly we can do the production, right? And errors, we can do a production with minimal errors, right? Okay, so see, this is how we can create value, right? Okay, for the operations, in the operations, by using technology, right? Okay, and here the new products and services, right? Thanks for the technology, now the products, they have changed, no, right? As an example, you can see here, earlier we had headphones, now for the different technologies, we have what? Earpods, right? Okay, see, technology has changed the products now, right? The changed the services, right? So by using technology, right, organizations can come up with new product ideas, innovative product ideas, and innovative services as well, right? It's another type of value creation for stakeholders of the organization, right? And also the third one is information, right? Okay, nowadays organizations, they are dealing with large amount of data, right? Okay, so they have data centers, right? Data warehouses, right? Early days we used to manage our data in manual files, but now, right, we are not bothering about the capacity and all. We can maintain, organizations can maintain data warehouses, right? So by using that data, by using that information, organization can make very accurate decisions, right, in order to be success in the industry, right? So see, again, value creation, Okay, right? So by using technology in these three areas, right, operations, new products and services, and information, right, organizations can create value, right, to their stakeholders, right? And okay, right? And here this is value chain, right? Porter's value chain. Michael Porter, he has introduced this value chain and explained how the organization can create values to its stakeholders, right? Here you can see, right, these are the primary activities in the production. See, inbound logistics, operations, outbound logistics, marketing and sales, and the after service or the customer service, right? Here these are the five primary activities, right? Porter says, right, in these five primary activities we can create value, right? And here these are the supporting activities, right? Supporting activities are like firms infrastructure, right? Human resource management, technology development, procurement, right? So these are the supporting activities for these primary activities, right? See, okay, and each of these activity, right, organization can create values, right? So by using technology, this value creation can be very easy. Clear, right? Okay. So let's talk about the inbound logistics, right? The use of IT includes inventory control and system, right? Okay, such as material requirements planning, right? Enterprise resource planning and just-in-time purchasing, right? Okay, see here, by using technology, right? Okay, we can use technology in inbound logistics, right? Okay, for that we can uh, create more value, right, by using different systems, right? Okay, to to plan about the material requirement, we have a separate system called MRP, right? Okay, material requirements planning system, right? And also we have another system called ERP, enterprise resource planning system, right? Okay, by using those things we can create value here, right? Okay, the process under the inbound logistics will be more efficient by using that technology, right? And here we can use another thing called just in time. Have you heard about just in time purchasing? Just in time means some organizations are there, the production companies, they are not maintaining their warehouses, right, with the raw materials. What they do is, let's say as an example, the Toyota company, they don't have their own warehouses, right? Let's say for today they want to make 5 Toyota Corolla cars, right? That's the order that they have got from the customers, 5 Toyota Corolla cars, right? So today morning only they are going to purchase what? Purchase the raw materials, right? That is known as what? Just in time. They have not what stored the raw materials in their own warehouses, right? For the order wise they are purchasing the what raw materials, right? That process is known as what? Just in time, right? So those things can be very effective by using technology, right? If we have a system, if we have a proper system, just in time purchasing will be very effective, right? Because we have technologies, we can do the things with minimal errors, right? And here operations, right? Okay, this is the manufacturing part. Okay, so here we know nowadays, as we discussed earlier, most of the manufacturing lines, right? Okay, the companies, they have automated these things by using artificial intelligence, right? Okay, robots are there, they are doing the manufacturing part, they are fitting the things together, right? People involvement is very less, right? Okay, so because of that we can take a high quality product as the output with minimal errors. Right, okay. So this is how we can create value by using technology and operations, right? Okay. So we can use different types of artificial intelligence, right? Robots for our operation process in order to create value, right? So what is the value that we can create from there is we can output the very high quality products, right, with minimal errors, right. And here the third one is the outbound logistics. How we can use this is, this is the warehouse actually, right. Okay, the finished goods are available with the place that we can store the finished goods, right. Okay, and if we have a proper system, right, okay, proper system, I mean to manage the logistics there, right, it will be more efficient process, right. Okay, and I mean for the warehouse operations, nowadays they are using a technology called RFID, that is known as radio frequency identifications, right. They are using these technologies to manage the logistics, right, outbound logistics in a warehouse, right. Okay, see, it is also again create value, right, by making the process more efficient and more easy, right. And when it comes to the marketing and sales also, right, nowadays we have a lot of online selling opportunities as well, right. And also we are having a CRM system, customer relationship management system, the systems where we can record all the customer details, right. Okay, so here because of these technologies, right, we can add more value, right. So let's say now if the company has a proper CRM, that means customer relationship management system, right, they have all the customer details now, so they can follow up their customers, right, and then they can make their customers as loyal customers. See the value creation, okay, right. And when it comes to sales also, by thanks for the e-commerce, right, that means online or the internet selling and marketing, they can increase the sales, right, again value creation, right. Not like early days, right, not like early days, I mean nowadays we don't need to have a retailer, right, we can have a virtual shop in the internet and we can sell the products and we can increase the sales of the organization, right. Okay, and I can give an example like this, uh, how the technology helps for this marketing and sales, right. uh, in South Korea, the have you heard about there's a largest supermarket chain in the world known as Tesco, right. Okay, for Asian, we have a Tesco outlet only at Singapore, right. Okay, so Tesco is the one of the most largest supermarket chain in the world, right. And they wanted to move to South Korea, and South Korea they had their own thing, right, own supermarket chain, right. And they want to compete with this supermarket chain, right. Okay, and they try to increase the sales there, right, without having any uh, physical store, right. Okay, they want to they increase their sales without having any physical store, right. What they did is, right, okay, they put up virtual stores, right, under the subways, right. Okay, under the subways they put up virtual stores, right. Okay, so while the people are waiting for their trains, they can do the grocery shopping, right. How they did it, like they displayed the product picture, right, in a light panel, right, product picture and the QR code, right. Okay, if a one customer wants to buy that, right, they have an app, they have to scan the QR code and they can add that product to their basket, okay, the cart, virtual cart, right. So through the Tesco app they can do the shopping, right, okay, while they are waiting for their trains, okay. So once they completed the shopping, they can make it check out from their app, and while they are traveling to their home, the Tesco people has delivered their products to their doorstep, right. So here, see how technology has changed the way of selling products, right. Okay, it's just one example, right. So by using that, right, they created value for the customers, and even not only for the customers, for their stakeholders, right. And if we are going to talk about the services also, right, services also they have now. Mainly they are talking about the customer service now, so they have their customer databases by I mean thanks for the technology, right? So they can provide a very lenient customer service for their customers, right? So he see, again we can create a value, right, for the people, for the customers of that particular company, right? And even for the human resource management also, we have nowadays we have a lot of systems where we can store what HR data, right? And we can, I mean most of the organizations they have automated their payroll to create value like that, right? Technology is helping for organizations in order to create values for their stakeholders, right? So here yes, right. Right. Okay. So under the second subtopic, right, we discuss how the technology, right, how the technology can implement strategies for the development of the organization, right, to achieve the long term expectations of the organization, right? So we discuss how the technology is working under the operations and under the new products and services and under the information, and also we spoke about the porter's value chain, how technology has changed the porter's value chain, right? Okay, to I mean add value to the customers. Okay, so as the third topic, we are going to discuss about the technology application in business process, right? For the very first video, I am going to stop from here. From the second video, we are going to continue the lesson from subtopic 3, right? So if you have any questions, you can contact me via email, or you can contact me via the WhatsApp group at any time. Any for further any assistance, you can have you can drop me an email, right? And hope the things that we have discussed today are clear, right? And see you on next week for the third subtopic under the digital business strategy. Thank you.